my name is Cardo. I will be your guest reader today. I hope you do good, and I hope you listen along. A spider's web. Web is stronger than it looks, although it is made of thin, delicate strands. The web is not easily broken. However, a web gets torn every day by insects that kick around it, and a spider must rebuild it. When it gets full of holes, Charlotte liked to do weaving during the afternoon, and Fawn liked to sit nearby and watch. One afternoon, she heard a most interesting conversation and witnessed a strange event. "You have awfully hairy legs, Charlotte," said Wilbur, as the spider busily worked at her task. "My legs are hairy for a good reason," replied Charlotte. "Furthermore, each leg of mine has 7 sections: the coxa, the trochanter, the femur, and the patella, the tibia, the menotaurus, and the tarsus." Wilbur sat bolt upright. "You're kidding," he said. "No, I'm not either. Say those names again. I didn't catch them the first time." "Coxa, trochanter, femur, patella, tibia, menotaurus, and tarsus." "Goodness," said Wilbur, looking down at his own chubby legs. "I don't think my legs have 7 sections." "Well," said Charlotte, "you and I lead different lives. You don't have to spin a web. That takes real leg work." "I could spin a web if I tried," said Wilbur, boasting. "I just never tried." "Let's see you do it," said Charlotte. Fawn chuckled softly, and her eyes grew wide with love for the pig. "Okay," Wilbur replied. "You coach me, and I'll spin it. It must be a lot of fun to spin a web. How do I start?" "Take a deep breath," said Charlotte, smiling. Wilbur breathed deeply. "Now climb to the highest place. You can get to like this." Charlotte raced up to the top of the doorway. Wilbur scrambled to the top of the manure pile. "Very good," said Charlotte. "Now make an attachment with your spinnerets. Hurl yourself into space and let out a drag line as you go." Wilbur hesitated a moment, then jumped out into the air. He glanced hesitantly, began to see a piece of rope was falling back. Checked his fall, but nothing seemed to happen in his reel. And the next thing he knew, he landed with a thump. "Oop!" he grunted. Charlotte laughed so hard her web began to sway. "What did I do wrong?" asked the pig, when he recovered from his bump. "Nothing," said Charlotte. "It was a nice try." "I think I'll try again," said Wilbur cheerfully. "I believe what I need is a little piece of string to hold me." The pig walked out to the yard. "You there, Templeton?" he called. The rat poked his head out from under the trough. "I got a little piece of string I could borrow," asked Wilbur. "I need a spinner web." "Yes, indeed," replied Templeton. "Who saved the string?" "No trouble at all. Anything to oblige." He crept down into his hole, the goose egg out of the way, and returned with an old piece of dirty white string. "Ew!" Wilbur examined it. "That's just the thing," he said. "Tie one end to my tail, will you, Templeton?" Wilbur crouched low, with his thin and curly tail toward the rat. Templeton sized the string, passed it around the end of the pig's tail, and tied it in 2 half hitches. Charlotte watched in delight. She was truly fond of Wilbur's, whose smelly pen and stale food attracted the flies she needed, and she was proud to see that he was not a quitter and was willing to try it again to spin a web. While the rat and spider and the little girl watched, Wilbur climbed again to the top of the manure pile, full of energy and hope. "Everybody watch!" he cried, and summoning all his strength, he threw himself into the air, head first. The string trailed behind him, but as he neglected to fasten the other end, anything. It didn't really do any good, and Wibble landed with a thud, crushed and whole. Tears came to his eyes. Tumbleton grinned. Charlotte just sat quietly. After a bit, she spoke. You can't spin a web, Wibble, and I advise you to put the idea out of your mind. You lack 2 things needed for spinning a web. What are they? You lack of spinnerets, and you lack know how to. But cheer up, you don't need a web. Zuckerman supplies you with 3 big meals a day. Why should you worry about trapping food? Wilbur sighed. You're never so much cleverer and brighter than I am, Charlotte. I guess I was just trying to show off. Serves me right. Tumbleton untied his string and took it back to his home. Charlotte returned, weaving. You needed feel too badly, she said. Not many creatures can spin webs. Even men aren't as good as spiders. Although they think they're pretty good, and they'll try anything. Did you ever hear me of the Quinzenboro Bridge? Wilbur shook his head. Is it a web? Sort of, replied Charlotte. But do you know how long it took men to build it? 8 whole years. My goodness, I would have starved to death waiting that long. I can make a web in a single evening. What do people catch in the Queensborough Bridge? Bugs? Asked Wilbur. No, said Charlotte. They don't catch anything. They just keep trotting back and forth across the bridge, thinking there's something better on the other side. If they hang head down at the top of the thing and wait quietly, maybe something good would come along. But no, with men, it's just rush every minute. I'm glad I'm a sanitary spider. What is sanitary? Asked Wilbur. Means I sit still a good part of time, and don't go wandering all over my creation. I know a good thing when I see it, and my web is a good thing. I stay put and wait for what comes. Gives me a chance to think. Well, I'm sort of sanitary myself, I guess, said the pig. I have to hang around here whether I want to or not. You know where I really like to be this evening? Where? In a forest, looking for beech nuts and truffles, and delectable roots, pushing leaves aside with my wonderful strong nose, searching and sniffing along the ground, smelling. You smell just the way you are, remarked a lamb who just walked in. I can smell you from here. You're the smelliest creature in this place. Wilbur hung his head. His eyes grew wet with tears. Charlotte noticed his embarrassment and spoke sharply to the lamb. Let Wilbur alone, she said. She has a perfect right to smell, considering his surroundings. You're no bundle of sweet peas yourself. Furthermore, you're interrupting a very pleasant conversation. What were we talking about? Wilbur, when we are so rudely interrupted. Oh, I don't remember, said Wilbur. It doesn't make any difference. Now let's not talk for any more a while, Charlotte said. I'm getting sleepy. You go ahead and finish fixing your web. I'll just lie here and watch you. It's a lovely evening, Wilbur stretched out. Twilight settled over Zuckerman's barn and feeling of peace. For knew it was almost supper time. But she couldn't bear to leave swallows passed on silent wings, in and out of the doorways, bringing food to the young ones from across the road. A bird sang, Wilbur, Wilbur, Wilbur. Wilbur sat down under an apple tree and lit his pipe. The animal sniffed the familiar smell of strong tobacco. Wilbur heard the trill of the tree toad and the occasional slamming of the kitchen door. All these sounds made him feel comfortable and happy, for he loved to be a part of a world on a summer evening. But as he lay there, he remembered what the old Trip had told him. He thought of Death came to him and began to tremble with fear. Charlotte, he said. The sheep had told him the thought of death came to him and began to tremble with fear. Charlotte, he said softly. Yes, Wilbur, I do not want to die. Of course you don't, said Charlotte in a comforting voice. I just love it here in the barn, said Wilbur. I love everything about this place. Of course you do, said Charlotte. We all do. The goose appeared, followed by her seven goslings. They thrust their little necks out and kept up a musical whistling like a tiny troop of pipers. Wilbur listened to the sound. Charlotte, he said. Yes, said the spider. Where are you? Were you serious when you promised you would keep them from killing me? I was never more serious in my life. I am not going to let you die, Wilbur. How are you going to save me? Asked Wilbur, whose curiosity was very strong on this point. Well, said Charlotte vigorously, I don't really know, but I'm working on a plan. That's wonderful, said Wilbur. How is the plan coming? Charlotte. Have you got very far with it? Is it coming along pretty well? Wilbur was trembling again. Charlotte was cool and collected. Oh, it's coming all right, she said lightly. The plan is still in its early stages and hasn't completed shape yet. But I'm working on it. When do you work on it? Begged Wilbur. When I'm hanging down on the top of the way. That's when I do when I'm thinking, because when all the blood is in the head. I'm only too glad and to help anyway I can. Oh, I'll work it out alone, said Charlotte. I can think of better, I think alone. Oh, all right, said Wilbur, but don't fail to let me know if there's anything I can do to help with. Well, replied Charlotte, you must try to build yourself up, and I want to get plenty of sleep. And stop worrying. Never hurry and never worry. Chew your food thoroughly and eat every bit of it, except you must leave just enough for Templeton. Gain weight and stay well. That's the way you can help. Keep fit and don't lose your nerve. Do you think you understand? Yes, I understand, said Wilbur. Go along to bed, said Charlotte. Sleep is more important. Wilbur trotted to the darkest corner of his pen and threw himself down. He closed his eyes. In another minute, he spoke. Charlotte, he said, Yes, Wilbur. May I go out to my trough and see if I left any supper? I think I just have a tiny bit of mashed potato. Well, very well, said Charlotte, but I want you in bed again without delay. Wilbur started to race out here. Slowly, slowly, said Charlotte. Never hurry and never worry. Wilbur crept to his trough. He found a bit of potato and chewed it, and walked back to his bed and closed his eyes, and was silent for a while. He said in a whisper, Yes. May I get a drink of milk? I think there are a few drops of milk in my trough. No, the trough is dry, and I want you to sleep. No more talking. Close your eyes and go to sleep. Wilbur shut his eyes. Fawn got up from her stool and started for home. Her mind was full of everything she had heard. Good night, Charlotte, said Wilbur. Good night, Wilbur. There was a pause. Good night, Charlotte. Good night, Wilbur. Good night. Good night. I hope you do good on your discussion question, and make sure you check over it and do a good job. Thank you for listening and watching. Bye.